What's up, YouTube? It's Erica Kroopin with Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to chat with Courtney from San Diego Scoop Squad. So if you are interested in hanging out with us, stay tuned. Hey, Courtney, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Erica. It's an honor to be on the show.
I'm super excited. I love following you online. Your social media stuff is so cool, and I just love the vibe that you are giving off. So for our audience that doesn't know who you are or doesn't follow you, give us a little bit of a blurb about yourself.
So I am a wife, a mom, a dog mom, and a business owner, obviously. And I started my business about a year and 4 months ago. And I feel like I'm just learning something new every day still.
No, that's so true. Every single day, just a little bit at a time, and we kind of just like build upon it like Legos.
Totally. Every day.
For sure. No, thank you so much. So I met you online through, I think it was through YouTube, right?
Yes.
That's where you found me first.
Yes.
You know, it's really funny. So I remember my dad telling me, don't talk to people online and don't talk to strangers. And now most of the people that I chat with, I've met online, and I'm so appreciative of that today. So if you want, tell the audience like how you found the YouTube channel, and then kind of what set in motion the business and how that worked out.
Sure. So it was during COVID, and I had the idea of starting a poop scooping business that popped into my head. And I'm a huge researcher, right? I will research the death out of something. And usually I don't take the leap though, you know? But I was like, let me see if there's content out there on poop scooping. And I wasn't hopeful. But then I found your YouTube channel, and I was like, my mind was blown. So then I binged all your videos, and we were friends before you even knew me. So just, just so you know, but I was totally, impressed by what you're doing. And it really motivated me to take the leap and start my business.
Now, how long would you say that it took you from doing that until like when you actually like made the leap?
I would say a good year, at least a year, just because I was pregnant at the time. It was, I had a young child. I had a lot going on. So starting a business wasn't the top priority going on in my life, but it was on my mind a lot. Every chance I had, I would play your videos in the background when I was at work, just so I could listen to them. I would take notes on your videos. I'm a note taker and a researcher. That's what I do. And yeah, it took me at least a year, I would say, to actually start.
I had been thinking about this industry for a while too, before I said anything to my husband, because he had already kind of talked about it. And that was the business name. Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin comes from my husband's last name. They had all talked about it when they were kids, and I remember hearing that because we all grew up together. And I didn't say anything to him. And then once I was ready to be like, I'm going to start the poop scooping, it was like, boom. I just hit the ground running. And just like you, I had done the research, wrote the notes, looked for stuff online. And that's the reason why I started the YouTube channel, is because I found some information. Jim, I found his information. I found a couple other people, but there was no females. Right. And I was like, wait a minute, where's the girls at?
Right. We got to represent.
Yeah, we can do this too. And so then I found Jessica. And so that's why I was like, you know what? I'm going to start the YouTube channel, just document my journey. And I'm so happy that I did, because I've met you. I've met so many great people, and it's been really awesome.
And you've helped a lot of us, honestly. You gave us that confidence that this is a thing, it's legit, and you could actually make money doing it. I think that's a lot of the worries. I know for me, I come from a corporate background. I've always had a secure job, right? Mm-hmm. So taking that leap of faith, I guess, is tough for someone like me that, kind of plays it safe, right? So you really gave that confidence boost that you could do this.
So, well, thank you. Thank you so much. I know I appreciate you saying that. So with you having a corporate job and being in corporate America, what made you want to actually start your own business?
I didn't know if I would wanted to actually start my own business. I just knew that I did not belong in that setting for the longest time. It had been 15 years since I was 18. I grew up in the corporate world, and I wasn't happy a lot of the time. And I always blamed it on the place I was working, but it was more than that. It was, this is not what I want to be doing. I don't want to be stuck behind a desk. I'm more of a hands-on type of person. But I think it was just, doing all that research. You gave a lot of information on just like the business side of it, not just poop scooping, but it made me do more research of my own on business in general. And I just, I went for it, and I never saw myself as a business owner ever. I had my little crafting businesses in the past, but it was never, I could make a living off of it. So it was more like a side hustle.
And now look at you, girl. This is like a big hustle.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So when you first started, did you have a support system around you? How did that go?
So, yeah, my husband, he totally believed in me when I brought it up to him. He supported the idea. I brought receipts.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he needed to see, that I wasn't just like willy-nilly, like wanting to make some rash decision to start a poop scooping business, So I definitely had his support. My family all lives on the East Coast. I'm originally from Connecticut. But they were very supportive from afar. My mom is moving out here next year, and she wants to be my marketing manager and do all these things for the business, which is really nice. Because, some parents can be like, you're going to do what? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to start poop scooping business. They might not look at it as a legit career path. You know what I'm saying? So it was nice. And my mom has always been supportive, but it was nice to have that continued support. It gives you the confidence that you need also to go for it.
I completely agree, because if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
35.
35. Okay. We're so very similar, except for I don't have any bio kids. I have step kids. So I haven't I didn't go through the infant
That's
stage.
okay. They're kids.
Yeah, it's wild times. But yeah, I worked in corporate America at the hospital for 14 years. I had a very supportive husband and supportive parents. When I did tell my parents, they were a little thrown off because they're an older generation, but they were still supportive. And I feel like that's really important to kind of help boost you up.
Absolutely. Because if no one believes in you, you're like, what am I doing?
Right. And especially with people on the internet, which we can kind of, if you want to talk about that, how, people can be
we'll definitely touch on that.
Yeah. I didn't have that on the list, but we can chat about that.
Yeah.
So with you being a mom, we talked about you being a mom and a business owner. How have you navigated all of it?
I like to tell people I'm surviving.
Yeah.
Especially because my family is on the East Coast. We don't have that type of support system, like a physical support system here. So it's been tough not having a village to kind of help out in that way. Thank God for daycare. She goes to daycare. She loves it. So that I can, spend my time on the business. I don't have to worry about childcare for her. But for me, I think it's been mostly about time management. And I think we've talked about this before too. Even if I didn't have my daughter, it would always be time management. But it's the added factor of, I have this human being that is mine that I have to take care of. And she will always come first, So I think it's just kind of turning off my business mind, which is very hard to do. I feel like I'm constantly thinking about it. They say I quit my 9 to 5 to work 24/7. That's how it kind of feels sometimes. But I have to say I didn't experience mom guilt, which I had comments made when I was working full time and doing the business, because I was working the business on the weekends. So I was not really spending much time with my daughter, but she was very young, and I had people kind of trying to make me feel guilty for that. But I didn't feel that guilt. So I'm happy I didn't feel that, because I know a lot of moms do feel mom guilt. And it's okay. I feel like you know the greater good as a mom, and you make sacrifices. And that's what I did. I sacrificed my time with her when she was young, but she got to spend time with my husband. They had like a little bonding time. So that was nice too at a young age. Um, so yeah, I think just managing everything and managing it okay. I'm not gonna say well, but you kind of get by and survive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you got to figure out the proper balance, because not everything is going to be balanced all the time,
No.
and like you said, like you were okay with it because you had the vision, you knew what
Mhm.
you were kind of going towards. And it was great that your husband got to like spend a lot of quality time with the baby. And I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you that too. Is your husband's involved in the business,
He is,
right?
yes. He helps me so much, but he still works his regular job. He works 4 a.m. to noon, and then every afternoon he helps me with the business. So
That's
he's working
amazing.
really hard.
I love that. And then with you guys not having other family around, I'm sure you guys lean into each other a lot, and it's been good for you guys.
Definitely. Like we had a bunch of initial cleans this weekend, which I don't like to do, but I mean, I think because of the holidays, everyone's kind of trying to get it done. So, I did a few, and then he took over, did a few, just so neither one of us gets burnt out, which can happen.
Yes, those one-time cleans can be fairly aggressive.
Yeah. I have one today after this. So,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah,
Get it, girl, get that money.
trying.
So how long did it take you to get your first customer once you launched?
I think it maybe took like 2 or 3 weeks, surprisingly. And what worked for a lot of other scoopers like Facebook did not and still does not work for me. So that customer found me on Google, which I like that on my form, I've always asked, where did you hear about us? So that I know where to put my efforts. And yeah, he found me on Google. It was a one-time cleanup. He let me take before and after pictures, which is nice. And his name was David, and I'll always remember his name.
You always remember the first.
Yep, totally.
Is David still with you?
Absolutely not. He was he was a one-time clean. He probably needed to stay on with me, but he was totally out of our service area. But I took him on because I was like, it's a one-time clean. Let me get this going, and it was worth it. I mean, maybe he'll come back one day.
Or you could send like a Christmas card or something
Like,
like
hey,
that.
David, still thinking about you.
Yeah, thank you for being my first customer and jump starting my business.
Yeah, but I have one of my customers, I think my second customer, is still with me. He had a big initial cleanup, and he's been a customer ever since.
Can you remind me, how long have you been in business for?
I started August 2021, so about a year and 4 or 5 months.
Okay, so I know, like for me, when I started my business, I wasn't very confident. Were you? Were you just kind of winging it?
I was totally winging it, and I was totally faking it until I made it. Like, I was posted on social media. Um, I think what I did was I worked my kind of graphic background to
Yeah.
make like pretty branded posts so that kind of people would see, oh, this aesthetic at least is nice on Instagram or whatever, until I got clients so that I could take before and after pictures or videos. I made a lot of reels on there, like to funny sounds, so that people would kind of get to know me. And I definitely had like a fake confidence going, but I think it helped me.
How long would you say it took you until you actually were like, yeah, I'm confident, I'm doing the thing?
Probably when I was about to quit my job, because that was the plan, right? I had a
Mhm.
goal. I want to quit by April 2022, and I did. After I had a little hump where I got 0 customers for like 2 months. And that was very frustrating, because I had this goal of April, right? And I was like, how am I going to do this if I'm not getting clients? And then there was an influx. And I think that gave me the boost that I needed. That, okay, that was just a little slow period, which I've noticed with other scoopers, people have slow periods. So once I got that boost and more clients, and I was making at least close to what I was making at my job, that's when I put my notice in to quit and go full time.
I remember when you did that. I was so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're like, yeah,
It
girl.
felt good. Yeah.
So now that you're growing and you are doing this full time, what is one of the challenges that you've been having as you've grown?
I would say one of our biggest challenges has always been routing. San Diego is massive. And I know a lot of other scoopers have like certain areas that they service, but literally San Diego will have, for example, there's a place in San Diego called Claremont. Within Claremont, there's like Claremont Mesa, Claremont Bay Ho, like there's like areas within areas within areas, right? But we service all of them. It's just tough to kind of fill in the gaps. And we still are slowly. We're almost at a max of what my husband and I can do. And it's mostly because of all the travel time, because our routing is not great.
I started dropping the customers that were further out and then just started kind of coming back in to like 15-mile radius from my house. Is that something that's doable with your area?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just because we have customers that are like almost 40 miles away. We have two customers. One of them is paying a travel fee. One was kind of locked in at what we were doing for prices for her, but we're just like in all directions. A lot of days when my husband and I are working, we have two routes going because we're just kind of, that's where we're at still. And that's definitely been the hardest struggle is because I want to condense it, right? Yeah. But I don't think we're at that point right now. I think we still have to go with what we're doing, bring in as many customers as possible. And then if it gets to the point where this really is not helping us money-wise, it's not worth the trip, then maybe we'll start, unfortunately, telling people, listen, we just don't service your area anymore.
If you need verbiage for that, I got you.
I know you're like the queen of verbiage. I'm like, I just need to go to Erica whenever I need something.
I talk too much. That's my issue. It's because I'm a talker.
No, I mean, I appreciate talkers as long as they know how to talk. You know what I'm saying? But like your verbiage for the Christmas break, I use that. That totally helped me. It made me feel more confident in what I was sending.
I'm happy and I'm excited that you're going to be taking a week off.
Girl, I'm so excited.
We're just going to have to post reels of us just like lounging or enjoying our time off.
I'm taking a social media break, I think. Maybe, I don't know, but like I want to just take off from everything and kind of like shut my brain off for the week and just focus on my parents are going to be here visiting. I just kind of want to focus on that,
Yeah, and you deserve it. You've been grinding for sure with the business. We love things and we hate things. So do you want to kind of go in on what you really, really love and what you really dislike about the business?
Well, I love, because I know some people don't allow dogs in the yard and some do. At first we didn't, but we do now as long as we met them. So seeing all the dogs really is the best part for me. I'm just a dog person, I love seeing them. And I think being able to work outside, I'm my own boss. These are all the things that make it worth it. I'm not stuck behind a desk, which I think the thing I don't like is all the admin work because I'm stuck behind a computer. I kind of like sending out quotes. And I think another thing I'm struggling with still is the confidence in my pricing. It's tough. I want to be fair while also being fair to us who are doing it's a dirty job, and I want myself and I want other scoopers to not lowball their pricing just to get a client. I don't think it's worth it, and I don't think it's good for the industry. So I'm still working on that myself, being confident in sending that $350 quote because it's been 6 months since they cleaned the yard. This is what it takes. And if it's less, and a lot of times it has been, I bring that quote down. And I tell people, I've done this plenty of times where the yard just was not as bad as expected. So I'm not going to make you pay more than you should have to.
Right. And it's always good to overquote than underquote because I've had to do that. I was in the middle of somebody's yard and I was 2 hours in. The guy came out and looked around and I said, I'm so embarrassed to say this, but I need to charge you more to continue. I've already been here for 2 hours. And he kind of looked at me. He was like, you pulled all that out. And I said, I did. And he was like, how much do you need? And then I kind of was quiet for a minute and he goes, tell me how much you actually need. I said, I need another $100. And so he went in, he talked to his wife, and I didn't just stand there. Like, I continued scooping, and he came out and he said, sure, not a problem.
Awesome.
If he would have told me no, I don't know what I would have done.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. And I feel like it's constantly, like everything else, a learning process. I'm definitely much better than when I once started. With that second customer that I mentioned, when I did his initial cleaning, I was like, okay, for today, it's going to be $250. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like, totally not confident at all. And I also was like, I don't know how to really price these yet. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. But it was weird that I asked him if it was okay. That's not okay to ask the customer if your pricing is okay.
I've done it, but
it
takes time because you're trying to figure out what the market will allow.
Yes, totally.
And with my situation, sometimes I think I'm like, should I have actually done that? Like, that was kind of tacky. Maybe I should have just taken the L. But his yard was way bigger than he told me, right? So it was much bigger. And at the end of it, he stiffed me on his last bill. So he ended up getting the money out of me anyways.
Oh, come on.
He did.
He sounded so nice about it too.
He did. He probably had a plan. He's like, I'm not going to pay her on the last bill when I move.
I
don't know if that's the truth, but
yeah, it happens. It literally happens.
Yeah, it evened out. All right. So what do you wait, so did you talk about what you didn't like?
Yeah, so the routing is
yep.
What I don't like. Yeah. And what I do like is, working outside with seeing the dogs, making my own schedule. I don't have to go to work at 8 a.m. yet right now.
It's better if you do, though. The earlier, the better.
The only problem is I have to bring my daughter to daycare. We literally can't start any earlier than like 8:30. So, but it's getting to the point where I'm going to have to because we've gotten so busy, which is good.
All right. Well, with everything that's getting so busy with all the craziness, what tools do you use to keep your business and your life organized?
I think I need to use more tools, but for right now, I'm using Jobber, another great suggestion from you, that has totally organized everything. I was using Square to start off with because it was free, and that was helpful, but it didn't have certain things that I needed for the business. One of the biggest things that I don't know if people really talk about is with Jobber, you don't have to have set appointment times. And that is huge for me because I don't like promising people that I'll be there at a certain time when I probably won't, because the schedule is constantly changing as you add new people. So that has been, even though it seems like a small feature, for me, it's been huge in the business. But Jobber has been great with, quoting, invoicing, scheduling, routing. It's great. And then sometimes I use for social media, the business suite, where I could schedule posts so I don't have to think about it. If I have something together, I could schedule it and then it's done. But I definitely need to have, again, more time management apps or whatever is out there that would help me with that, which I need to do more research on, obviously.
People make so much money off folks like us with our brains because you can't see it, but I have notebooks. I have scheduling calendars. I have a ginormous calendar on my wall over there that I was like, this is going to change my life. This is it. That thing's collecting dust.
Oh, yeah. I have all that stuff too. I have 2 different whiteboard calendars, a bunch of notebooks. I'm the same as, I feel like we're a lot of alike, honestly.
Yeah. And I think that's why we were drawn to each other. I don't know if you've done this, but with Jobber, I put tasks in there. If I need to do something business related, like payroll, go get trash bags, whatever, I actually schedule that in Jobber under my profile. I created one for me and I put that in as go buy trash bags, go get my sanitary supplies, do payroll, all of that. And I just check it off.
Smart.
Because we're in Jobber every single day. Every day.
Totally. I literally, if I'm going to go to a different app on my phone, I automatically click on Jobber every time. I don't know why. My thumb just goes Jobber, and I'm like, I'm not even going to use Jobber right now.
Yeah,
or just how much we're in it. you know?
All day, every day. And that's the perfect time to plug Jabber. Jabber is my CRM of choice and Courtney's. Jabber is the CRM that I use to do my routing, my scheduling, my customer communications, and pretty much keep my business organized. So if you are interested in trying Jabber, click my link down in the description. You will get a 2-week free trial. And then if you sign up, you will get a special discount. So check it out.
Yeah, go Jobber.
Working on my spiel.
It's good. You're good at it.
But yeah, you should check that out with Jabber, like scheduling those tasks.
I will. Totally.
It's helped for sure, for sure. All right. So what's your next step in business? What's your next goal for 2023? If you want to share.
Yeah, of course. I feel like I have a lot of goals. I think we'll probably end up having to hire someone part-time to kind of relieve my husband from just doing all the stuff that he's doing. And also for me, so I could spend more time on the business versus in the business, even just like a day. I just need a day where I could, do this admin stuff and organize myself. Because I feel like I'm just go, and I don't have time to focus, and I need silence to focus. So having a part-time employee would definitely help with that. Another goal is to reach out to more commercial properties, because that is the thing that inspired me to start my business. And we have 2 now. But I definitely want to do more outreach with that, whether it's on LinkedIn. I just got to figure out the best route. And then the ultimate goal is if we get those commercial properties, my husband will be able to quit his job and we'll both be in the business full time.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, totally. I'm excited for that. He's excited for that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even my husband, like, he makes really good money with his tree service stuff, but he's always like, if the business gets big enough or your social media gets big enough, maybe I could not do trees. I'm like, I don't see you doing that. Like, you love trees so much.
Right.
And I'm like, you don't even like to be on camera. So how are you going to help with social media?
He'll do like the posting, not the actual like behind the camera. Same with Leon. He doesn't want to be in front of the camera.
No.
He was on a live, but that was about it.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about it. I was going to ask if he wanted to hop on, but then I was like, he's probably entertaining the baby.
Oh yeah, they had to leave because it would be chaos.
Yeah.
They went shopping.
Oh, nice. So I know I didn't say that I was going to talk about this, but with you talking about commercial, for anybody that's listening that is interested in getting into commercial, do you have any like suggestions for them?
Yeah, we'll take any.
I want to know
any advice. Really, they and I always try to like show the value and why, because I am a renter in San Diego, and every single place we've lived at has had a dog poop problem or a tenant problem, I guess. So it's been enough evidence for me to know that if they have a dog friendly complex, they absolutely need this service. There's no way around it. And I think showing the value, just like they have a pool service person or a landscaper, they're constantly repainting things in the garage. Like, there's other things that should probably be priority. And I think it's just trying to get the value across to the managers or whoever's in charge.
Now, did you feel comfortable with your pricing with your commercials?
I do, but I know it's high because, listen, I don't know if I want to talk about competitors in here, but
you don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay. But I know that I quoted a job it was a huge complex. They wanted 3 times a week. I found a lot of poop already within the complex, and they already had a service. So I quoted it appropriately for the size and how long it would take and how many days they wanted. And then they came back and told me what they were currently paying for that price for the service. And I was like, well, you got the person you need, because I will never do it for that price.
Right.
I didn't say that, but I said, okay, no problem. Let me know if you ever change your mind in the future. But we need to get paid for our services, especially if we plan on hiring someone. How are you supposed to pay them if you're not getting paid yourself?
Yeah, and I think that was a huge shift for me when I needed to hire somebody. That's when I knew I needed to bump my prices up, because what I was charging was good for me, but not to make a profit and still pay an employee a good wage.
Right. And that's when I figured out what they were getting per hour on what they were paying for that company. I was like, well, I literally can't do that. I literally
No.
cannot. So I, as much as I am confident in my pricing, it probably is too high for them because they don't see the value. And I think it all comes down to getting across the value of the service.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that you're happy with what you're charging, so you're able to provide that good service. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that you were able to know your worth and know that you were not going to charge that little, and you were able to walk away.
Yeah, and that's where another more confidence comes in. And I don't want to hate a job. I don't
Yeah.
want to feel disgruntled because I'm not getting paid enough to go there every single week, multiple times a week. I just don't want to feel that way. It's my business. And that's where I think we set the rules for what we accept or don't accept.
Question. So with the rules, with you coming from corporate America and then becoming a business owner, when you worked at corporate, the rules were made for you, right? So you got to follow those rules. Did you have a hard transition from following rules to creating the rules?
No, I think because I felt like I've been in a box for
Yeah.
years, especially creatively. I, worked in graphics departments. So now just with that alone, I get to post what I want to post and I'm not stuck in a box. And that's where I created my rule for myself that if I want to post something, it's my business. And I mean, I'm not going to do anything provocative, you know what I mean? But I just don't want to put myself in a box because I've been in there too long.
You're like, I'm free, I'm out. I love it. I
Yes.
love that. All right. So you've had a lot of wins. Business has been good for you. What do you do to celebrate those wins?
A little happy dance and then move on. No, I think I like to share with the people that have been supporting me, and like even our fellow scoopers and my family, because, they've been rooting me on. So I think I share my successes with others, but I don't really like celebrate them. My husband did, I think we got to, I don't know, maybe it was like 25 customers and we went out with friends and he got me like a gift and everything for that. So it was really nice. But, we've really grown since then and we haven't really done much. So, what do you do?
Shop.
Okay. Okay. Then yeah, I totally celebrate. I totally celebrate.
Yeah, go. Yeah, I do a little happy dance. I'm like, yeah, me and my husband chit chat about it. And then, then I'll post something on social media sometimes, which I haven't done that in a while.
Do you
But
post to like your personal? Do you share those successes with like your personal Facebook or whatever?
so I'm struggling with my social media. I don't character. I don't know, whatever it is with my social media in general, because I have the Scoop podcast, then I have Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin YouTube, and then Erica. And it's like it's hard for me to like share on all the social medias because it's like, what do I share here? What do I share there? And I feel like I need to combine everything together because they're all me.
Right.
It's so sometimes I will share on my personal, but then I'm like, do these people care? Probably not. So
I
maybe
feel that too.
I'll share it where where my people are, and that's with the Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin. But sometimes I don't want to talk about like business related stuff on the Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin because a lot of my customers follow that. So I don't know. I've been going through an identity struggle the last year.
That's understandable though. That's tough.
With
I mean, it's like finding a balance, right? Like how much of myself do I put out there for this account versus my very personal like friends and family only?
Yeah, and I'm an overshare sometimes because I have high anxiety. But
So
and as I've gotten older, I've been sharing a little less. And then, like putting stuff on TikTok, I am deathly afraid to put stuff on TikTok because I posted one video just a conversation that I
Yeah.
had with my husband, and those comments ripped me apart. And
I saw them and I was like, wow, these people are going in.
it was aggressive. And I mean, I had words, you know what I'm saying? Like I had words, but I was like, what do I want to say versus what do I want, or like, what am I going to put out there versus what I'm not going to put out there?
Right.
So I had to take a deep breath and I'm like, okay, I don't need to be going ham in the comments because it's just going to fuel the fire. So I just responded back with like, quirky little videos and kind of like
Yeah.
snarky videos. And I had fun with it. And that for me is what's the most important, is to continue having fun, because if I'm not having fun, I'm going to stop. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I had to learn to do that too when it came to the business side of getting those like rude comments, mostly on Facebook.
Yeah.
But now I just kind of like shoot back at them, with something funny. And then I get more reactions to that from people because they think they see it's a real person behind the screen, responding to their rude comments. So it took a while to get to that point though, because I would take things very personal.
Yes, and it's hard to work past that, but once you do, it's like, all right, let's have fun with this. And then the other people see that and it's like, oh, she's lighthearted and she, handled herself well. We'll follow her. We like her because now they're invested in the content.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
I
organic.
totally agree. Yeah.
So when, say for instance, when you have those like crappy days when you're like, this person really got to me or was bad in business, what do you do to decompress?
I also have a hard time with that. I feel like I need to take better care of myself all around, including dealing with my stress. But for me, it's just going in my room with the lights out, like mindlessly scrolling through TikTok because it shuts my brain off. And I need that. Because I overanalyze, I overthink everything. And I'll just fester in those thoughts. And I don't like that because then my day is just ruined, It's funny. My husband came in one time and I was just like laying in bed, lights off, nothing playing. And he's like, are you sleeping? I was like, no. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I just like silence and I like the dark sometimes just because it lets me just, whether I have to be in my feelings and then release them, or I could, mindlessly scroll through some app and kind of lose myself in that for a moment.
I get overstimulated, and that sounds like a really good idea, to go in your room with no lights, no sound, just you to kind of.
Yeah, definitely. I get very overstimulated, especially since becoming a mom, because it's kind of constant, right? You can't be like, sorry, kid, mom's done, like they don't understand that. So it's tough. It's tough to find that time for myself.
Yeah. What, so not all times are good. And with the bad times, what drives you through those bad times where you're kind of like, this is tough. I don't want to do it. What keeps you going?
I think our current customers, honestly, because I know that they love our service, especially the ones that have been with us for like pretty much the whole time we've been in business. It's kind of just remembering why you did this and that people actually appreciate what you're doing. That gets you kind of through those tough times because you're doing it for a reason, right? You started your business for a reason. It's not just for the money. We're helping people tremendously. And I think I have to remember that. I have to remember I am helping someone who really values our service. And it kind of brings me back down, like, you'll get through this. Just keep pushing. There's a greater good,
Yeah, your why. You got to have a strong why.
Yeah.
For totally. Sure. As cliche as it sounds.
You totally did.
Yeah. If you could go back and talk to younger Courtney, what's one piece of advice that you would give her?
I would say don't worry about finding your passion so much. I've stressed about that I mean, I'm 35 now, and I saw a lot of people that knew what they wanted to do with their life. And it really stressed me out because I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I think it's just kind of like go with the flow more, go with the flow. Don't stress so much, save your money, those kind of things. Like, save money is a big one for me. I don't think I had much, education on managing money growing up. I come from humble beginnings. I grew up in a trailer park. So I've always had money as an adult, my own money. So I kind of just spent willy-nilly, and when I could have been saving and creating a better future for myself, I guess. But yeah, save your money, don't stress so much, and you'll find your passion eventually. Don't force it.
Yeah, I love that. I feel that so much because we're so similar. That's crazy. I love it. I love it. So you're pretty active on social media. Where can our listeners find you?
I am on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at SD Scoop Squad. And that's just the user handle on all of those.
I'll include that in the show notes. Let's go back to Instagram. What do you got going on Instagram for Pooper Scooper?
Girl, I have been, my lives?
Yes.
Oh,
girl, you better
okay.
plug it. You better plug that live.
So I started a little live series with fellow scoopers. Erica was my first guest, as she should be. And it's kind of just, it's called Let's Talk Shit. And it's just talking about business. It's getting to know other scoopers. We all work our businesses differently, and it's nice to see how other people do it, because as much as we're all doing the same thing, we're all doing it differently.
Yeah.
And I like learning from everyone, getting to know them, and it's a great support system for fellow scoopers.
Now, right now, is it just exclusively for scoopers? What if somebody in a service industry wanted to hop on? Are you open to that?
Yeah, I actually thought about that, because I have, friends that are in the pet industry, but they're not scoopers. But it's definitely a community that I've kind of built here in San Diego. So it would be nice to talk with them, see how business works for them versus how business works for us.
Yeah, it's cool. That's the reason why I wanted to start doing these interviews. Girl, I was scared. I was so nervous about doing these, but I'm like, nope, I had the goal. My 11th episode, I was going to start doing interviews. So, and it's good to get the outside perspective and talk to other people. And because I don't know about you, but like, do you ever just get bored with yourself?
Oh, I always get bored with myself. I'm a boring person, honestly. So that's why I feel like I have to like put out content to like be less boring, even for myself.
My husband tells me I'm cooler online. Like I am not.
I'm totally cooler online. Totally.
Whatever.
I'm a friendly introvert. So really I like not talking to people. It's great. But I feel like on the internet, I'm more of an extrovert, right? Like, yeah. And I feel like you kind of have to be to put yourself out there. You are definitely an extrovert, right?
I am, but I'm also, I think I have a couple personalities. I'm not going to lie. But what happens is I'm an extrovert, and then I get very overwhelmed because my cup is empty. And then I become an introvert until my cup's full again. And then I'm like, let's go. All the people.
So you might be a friendly introvert, because that's like you recharge with time for yourself, right?
Yeah.
You just might be a very friendly.
But with these like interactions like this doesn't deplete me. This energizes me.
Same.
So
yeah.
I'm not too sure what I am.
That's okay. Just be yourself. Yeah. Which I know you are. So that's good.
We're just out here trying to figure it out.
Totally. Right. Every day.
All right. Now that the serious questions are done, I want to have a little fun and get to know you a little bit more on like the fun side. Okay. You said you live in is it California, right?
Yes. Yep. San Diego.
I've never been, but if I were to go there, what's your favorite food and what should I get?
My favorite food is probably East Coast food. Sorry, California. But if you were to come here
in California,
I think they're called birria tacos, where it's like they're like shredded beef tacos, and you it's like dipped in a sauce. So it's like almost like a wet taco.
I've seen that on TikTok.
Oh, so good. And for the record, I get made fun of for the way I say taco because I'm from the East Coast. So that was the first thing I learned when I moved out here.
How are you supposed to say it?
Taco. I say taco. You
A
have
hard
some
A.
coffee. Have some coffee with my taco. I don't know. Um, but yes, so that's the one thing I would recommend. Unfortunately, I think the East Coast has better food. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So if I were to go to the East Coast, what would you recommend there?
Pizza.
Pizza. My husband loves pizza.
Yeah, they have. You're not going to really find good pizza out here, and Chinese food. You're not going to find good Chinese food out here. You would think there's a large Asian community, but it's very specific to their culture of food. But then there's East Coast Chinese food that all of us East Coasters that live in San Diego are trying to find out here, and it's just not here.
It's not it.
It's reality, and it's fine. But yes, pizza. If you go to the East Coast, New York. Have you been to New York?
The thought of me going to New York makes my heart pound. There's too many people.
It totally should. I don't like New York, but if you were to go, you got to meet up with Jim or something, get some pizza.
Yeah. That's one thing that I was thinking about doing. I would love, like, one day do like a tour for the YouTube channel or podcast and go visit all the scoopers in like their hometown.
Well, you are more than welcome to come to San Diego. I feel like you would love it.
I probably would.
It's chill. It's definitely more chill than over there.
I'm going to keep you up on that offer. Don't be surprised when I'm like, hey, girl, got my suitcase packed. What's up?
That's fine. I'm just going to make you come scoop with me. That's all.
That would be fun.
That would be fun, right?
That would be tag team action.
Yes.
All right. So if you had to listen to one song on repeat for 23 hours, what would it be?
Okay. So I go through waves, right? Currently, I'm obsessed with the song I Do by Cardi B and SZA. It's just a vibe for me. It gets me in a mode where I'm a badass beep.
Right?
And it just makes me feel good right now. So right now, that's been on repeat. So I'll go with that one.
I'll have to listen to it when I'm done with here.
Totally should, yeah.
I will. Maybe I'll clean my house. Maybe.
There you go. It'll make you feel like a bad beep.
All right. So if you what's one of your guilty pleasures, something that you do just for yourself?
Girl, I don't know if I have any. And that's bad. I know.
It is bad.
What do I do just for myself? I feel like as a mom, you don't do anything for yourself. And that I saw that question and I got nervous because I tried to make something up in my head, but I can't really make something up. But in an ideal world, it would be getting weekly massages.
Oh, yeah. I love those. Yeah.
One day, that's my goal. That'll be my guilty pleasure of getting weekly massages.
I'm going to have to check in with you. Maybe what if you start off doing a monthly to build up the habit?
Totally. I should totally. Well, I'm going to start off by going to the spa next week, or not this week coming up when I'm off, because my parents will be here. I don't have to worry about my child. I get to have time. So yeah, I'm going to start there. I'm going to start with a massage and maybe I'll carry it on to next month and see what happens.
That's good. You know what? One thing that has helped me. So if I say, all right, I'm going to go get my nails done, and then I don't schedule the appointment right then and there, I'm never going to schedule it. My nails are going to fall off. So what I've been doing is like my workouts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. It's a non-negotiable. I've been able to work that into my schedule. My nails, it's every 2.5 weeks on the same day, and I go at the same time. That way, it's like I already have those staples in, and then I'm not forgetting about myself because I prioritize them. It wasn't easy. It hasn't been easy because then, something happens. I know you have your child, but like people will be like, oh, can you come and do this? I need for you to help me. And I'm like, oh no, I got my workout. And they'll make fun of me. They're like, seriously, you can't move it? I can't.
That's like self-care right there. Honestly.
I have probably $40,000 in therapy invested in myself to be able to set those boundaries and stick to them and not feel guilty about caring for myself.
Yeah. We talked about that on our live therapy, and I still have not made an appointment for that, which I know I need to do that as well. So maybe that's another goal for 2023 is, more self-care.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to that bucket too, because it
Therapy
needs
is
to happen.
good. And you
Yeah.
can do it online too.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like, when do I do that online even? I feel like for that, I have to like go somewhere,
Yeah.
so.
I've done both. I've went and I love it online because at 4 o'clock every other Monday, I'm right here in my seat. I don't care what else I got going on. Even if I'm like, if my day's running behind, I'm scooping, I'll stop and I can Zoom from my truck. I just make sure I'm at a place with good Wi-Fi
Mhm.
or good service, and then I just Zoom and then I go back to work
Okay.
because I know how important it is. Because if
Yeah.
all this, all the stresses, whatever it is, and they can bring stuff out of you that it wasn't bothering you yet, but it was on the
It was
way
like
of it.
boiling up. Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, I hope you, put some thought into it and try it. Just check it
I
out.
definitely need to do it. It's like on my to-do list.
Yeah. No,
With a
for
bunch of
sure.
other stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is so good. I feel like we could talk forever.
Totally, me too.
But I know you got some poop to go scoop. So thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any last words for me or for the audience?
Well, thank you so much for having me on. It's been an honor because you were my inspiration. But I would just say for anyone that, is thinking about starting this business, there's a lot of, content out there, including yours and, a few others that I would just binge it and you gain confidence as you're watching these videos, and take a leap. If I could take a leap, anyone could take a leap.
Right.
I'm like Miss Security over here. I need safety and security, and I took a leap. So if I think people just kind of got to do it.
I agree. Anthony, he's going to be on here soon too.
Good.
He's got a great YouTube channel for people to
He
check
does.
out too. So definitely. But I will go ahead and, like I said, I will include all of your links down in social. So
Thank
if you
you.
guys want to keep up with her, I advise it because she's awesome. And don't forget to like, share, and do all the online things to help us out. And until next time, bye.
Bye.